Here we go. Find your space. My name is David Chandler, by the way. Hi, Eden. And hi, Lauren, of course. And so just find a space that you can move around in. And I'm going to give as much viewpoint as possible. We're going to start with a series of Tai Chi warm-ups, but really what they are is their Qigong. So this is what I usually teach on the very first class that I teach with my students. So to begin with, just again, find some space and shake it out. As you shake your hands vigorously overhead, what it does is it stimulates catecholamine production in the brain, prepares the brain for learning, and generally kind of wakes us up. So it's a very good thing to do first thing in the morning. Just shake your hands vigorously overhead and kind of wakes everything up, prepares your brain for learning. It triggers a release of catecholamine production in the brain. And then big circles out front, just kind of loosening up the joints. You kind of slightly incline forward and you use your legs to pump the arms, and you're just making kind of a rolling motion with your hands. And just let your breathing move in the way that it wants to move according to the movement. Then lift and drop your shoulders. Now, when you do that, you lift the shoulders, you kind of come off the ground with your heels slightly, and then you drop the knees as well. So lift and drop, and then repeat it in a faster motion, and then twist your hands so that your hands are twisting as you lift and drop. And then there's a panting breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose as you rise, exhale on the drop. And then a little faster. Little faster. Then think hot dog in August. And then hold the ball out in front of you. Spread your toes, tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin, tip of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth just behind the front teeth. All the fingers pointing to each other. Notice the buzzing in your hands. That's your qi. We've just stimulated the qi. The qi is the life force energy. Tai Chi Chuan is a type of Qigong. Qigong means energy study. Tai Chi Chuan is a type of energy study. And then swing arms. Inhale up, exhale down. Swinging motions are said to bring about a sense of psychological well-being. It's suggested that it gives us the same sensation that we experienced when we were in the womb. So it makes us feel safe, secure, happy. And so as you inhale up with your arms, exhale down with your arms. You watch small children, they swing their body parts frequently during the course of the day. It's an example of just basic body wisdom. And then side to side, opening up the intercostal muscles in between the ribs, increasing the breathing apparatus flexibility so that you can actually bring in more breath as your rib cage and torso becomes more elastic. Inhale to center, exhale as you swing out. So notice the breathing styles are very different. There are lots of different breathing exercises, like the panting breath we did. This is a little faster breathing as well. And then turning, gently twisting. This exercise is known as knocking on the gate of life. And when you do that, you just hope somebody's home. So as you turn, just let your hands fall against the body. The hand that goes in back will often swing up to the kidney region. And in this area, we call it the Mengman. And in front, your arm may come across or your hand may come across and contact your dantian, your center. It's the second chakra. And then put one foot forward, rocking forward and back, same exercise, but now instead of being in a bow stance, a horse stance, which we were just in, parallel feet structure, we're now in a bow stance. And it's called that because it's the way you position yourself for shooting a bow. And then switch feet. So all of these warm-ups are meant to stimulate and balance the circulatory system, the endocrine system. It stimulates the lymphatic system to a heightened degree. It stimulates and balances the energy system of the body. Now, feet in parallel. This next movement is the beginning of most Tai Chi forms. It's called the wave. You're going to put your feet in parallel, about hip or shoulder width apart. You're going to spread your toes. You're going to bend your knees slightly, tuck your tailbone under, supporting your internal organs with your pelvic bowl. Relax your chest down, float your collarbones up, lightly squeeze your shoulder blades together and back, so the knees are slightly bent, and tip of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth, just behind the front teeth. Now, this is one of the first principles of Tai Chi. When you press the tip of the tongue to the roof of your mouth, just behind the front teeth, it's called the alveolar ridge. What it does is it connects the conception vessel, which is the meridian that runs straight down the center line, and the governing vessel, which runs straight over from the tail up to the crown, to the upper lip. So it goes from lip to lip. When that happens, the tip of the tongue stimulates the energy flow along that. It's called the microcosmic orbit. Now, another thing is it's a neurological connection. So this will help your balance. So if you press the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth, automatically you will balance better because you'll center your energy system. Now, sink down into your heels, rock forward on the inside of the feet, and pluck with your hands as you rise up. So the pluck position is this. It's like all four fingers coming towards each other. The elbows aren't locked, but the arms are outstretched. Then you relax your hands. That's called the willow leaf palm. Draw your hands in. Lotus palms, you spread your fingers wide apart and sink down into your heels. So as you float up, you exhale. As you draw in and sink, inhale. Now here we're going to use a 5-second exhalation up and 5-second inhalation in and down. And what that does, anytime you move at that rate of breathing, that 5-second interval, you move into the parasympathetic portion of the nervous system. So by slowing your breath down, you actually go into rest and digest mode, which allows for a vast number of chemical changes in your body, especially glandular secretions like human growth hormone. That occurs every time you sleep at night. And so when you do this type of meditation of slowing the breath down to 5-second interval, it will absolutely allow your body to rest, digest, and heal itself. Good. So that's an exercise that you can do as a meditation, 5 minutes. Just spend time with that movement over and over again. Now, a little balance exercise, and it's a stretch for the legs. If you need to hold on to something, feel free to do so. But again, tip of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth, that goes without saying now with all of our Tai Chi practices. Put your weight on one side and begin slowly swinging your leg. And then as you get it going a little higher, inhale as you swing the leg back, exhale as you swing the leg forward. And notice now this interval is a little bit faster than the 5-second interval because it's a different type of activity. And the other side, swing leg. Your arms are moving in opposition, just like we walk and run. You lift the toes in front as you swing forward. That gives you more of a stretch to the back of the leg. And as you swing the heel up to touch the buttock and back, that'll give you more of a stretch to the front of the thigh. And other side, now same thing, but now you're going to touch in front and in back with the opposite hand. And again, pressing the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth, that's going to help your balance. And the other side, touching in front and in back with the opposite hand. And then switch feet once more, both hands in front, both hands in back, unless you need to hold on to something. And the other side. Good. Now, simply looking up, squeezing your shoulder blades together and back, and looking down, rolling your shoulders forward, hollowing your chest. Inhale as you look up. Exhale as you look down. As you look up, squeeze your shoulder blades together and back. As you look down, roll your shoulders forward. Inhale up, exhale down. Now, these exercises that we're doing right now with the head stimulate a greater flow of circulation of blood to the brain and greater circulation of chi, life force energy, down to your internal organs. Then go back to neutral, and then side, center, side. Inhale to center, exhale as you turn out. Inhale to center, exhale as you turn out. And here we go back to that 5-second interval. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Soften the backs of the knees, spread your toes, tuck your tailbone. So think of lengthening your tailbone down towards the ground. Then horseshoe shape from side to side. And then full circle, all the way around. If you've had neck injuries, don't go too far to the back. Breathing fully. And the other direction. Think of lengthening the crown up and away from the shoulders. Good. Then next, you're going to roll your shoulders coming up the front and down the back, like swimming a backstroke. Really lift the shoulder up and let the shoulder drop low. So the movement is quite dynamic. As one shoulder rises, the other one sinks. As one shoulder goes forward, the other goes back. And then the other direction, swimming forward now, coming up the back and down the front. Now, something you'll hear me talk about is the 6 harmonies or 8 harmonies, depending on who you read. But basically, the hips and shoulders are harmonic. The elbows and knees are harmonic. The hands and feet are harmonic. And I would say head and pelvis are harmonic. And then up the front and down the back like rowing a boat. So lift up, draw back. That's your inhalation back, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Then exhale as your shoulders drop down and go forward. Now the chest is hollow. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, down and forward. breathing fully. And the other direction, coming up the back and down the front. And it could be just the shoulder movement like this, but it can also be a full body wave that looks more like this. Good. Then fists together. Pull twice, palms up, thumbs down, high, low, low, high. And it starts again. Pull twice, palms up, thumbs down, high, low, and low, high. One more time. Pull twice, palms up, high, low, low, high. Excellent. Then fists together. You're going to turn twice in each direction with the sound of ha. So, ha, 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 ha. Continue to do that, but hold hands and offering a little resistance. Ha, 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 ha. Excellent. Now, the next movement is a primary Tai Chi movement called White Crane Spreads Wings. We're going to break it down into its constituent parts. The lower body is relatively simple. You simply put your weight on one foot and step out and touch the toes without putting any weight on that foot. So you just touch the toes. And then you bring it back, shift onto that other foot, and step out with the opposing foot. And that's the movement, basically. So it's pretty simple. It's what's called an empty step. Now, an empty step could go in any direction. We're just doing the one that fits this movement. So this posture has an empty step forward. Okay, and then we reconfigure. Good. Now, the upper body, your hands will start in front of your chest, but that's not a stopping point. Okay, one hand will go down, and the palm is down, fingers pointing forward. The other hand will go up with your palm addressing the sky. Let me get a little bit more crown space here. So your high hand is palm up, fingers pointing to the other side. So the front, so actually, let's do just the arm movement. So your hands come past your heart, palms in, and then you spread your wings. Low hand, fingers pointing forward, fingertips lifted, palm to the ground. High hand, fingers pointing to the side and pushing the heel of your palm up. Inhale as you bring your hands past your heart. Exhale as you spread your wings. Inhale, exhale. Then, front foot, low hand on the same side of the body. So the weighted foot is the high hand. So when you switch, you draw your front foot in, raise that hand, and as you step out, the foot that goes forward, the hand lowers on that side of the body. And switch, inhaling to your heart, exhale as you spread your wings. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And we slow this down to 5 seconds. 5-second exhalation. 5-second inhalation. Nice and slow. The stepping forward foot is the lowering hand side. The weighted foot is the high hand side. Then twist towards your front foot side. And when you do that, the low hand will be palm down, fingers pointing to your bottom, high hand, palm up, fingers pointing behind you. So your front foot, low hand, turning in that direction. And then switch, front foot, low hand, turn that way. Switch, front foot, low hand, turn that way. Switch, the low hand is on the front foot side and the fingers point to your bottom. So you lift the fingers up to point, so your palm is stretching, your wrist is stretching. Your high hand is palm up, fingers pointing behind you. Once more. Good. Now, tip your head to one side. Come a little bit closer. So tip your head to one side, open and close the fist on the other side, and nod. So you're getting a stretch through here. There's a stomach point and gallbladder point up here that this is being stimulated up through this region in the trapezius muscle. Then tip your head the other way, reach down with the other hand, open and close the fist and nod. And breathe. This is a good exercise if you're prone to tension headaches. Then pull one hand over, tip your head the same way your hand is being pulled, and nod again. And breathe easily, soften the backs of the knees, spread your toes, tuck your tailbone. And then other side, pull the hand over, tip your head that way, and nod. So this amplifies the previous exercise with that stretch being dynamically charged with some more energy. Then raise one hand, palm up, out to the side. Point your fingertips down, thumb points back, push the heel of your palm away, tip your head away, and nod. This stimulates a flow of qi along the large intestine meridian, and it does what we call dredging the meridian. So it means it's cleaning the meridians out, so your intestinal tract will function better. Other side, palm up to start, point your fingertips down, point your thumb back, push the heel of your palm away, tip your head away from the hand, and nod. Really stretch out, point the fingers down. This activates the flow of energy along the large intestine meridian with such dynamism that it sort of cleans the system. Then focus on your rib cage. What you're going to do now is we're going to work on torso. In Tai Chi, there are three primary ways of working. The first level is what's called the hand level, second level is torso level, and the third level is mind level. When you get to the mind level, you can do all sorts of amazing things. Now, as you're working on torso, bring your chest forward, squeezing your shoulder blades together and back. So your weight is forward on the balls of the feet to the toes. Your chest is protruding forward, your shoulders are back. Then you go to the side, and as your chest goes back, you roll your shoulders forward so you're hollowing the chest, okay? And then side, chest forward, shoulders back. That's when you inhale. Exhale as you go back, rounding the shoulders forward. Chest forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together and back, inhaling. Exhale as you go back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Good. And let's go the other direction. Chest back, shoulders forward. Chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale as you go back. Inhale as you go forward. notice that you have the weight will move around in a circle on your feet. You'll feel the weight forward on the toes, then the inside of one foot, outside of the other, the heels at the same time, outside and inside. And that is because the body is going to make all sorts of internal adjustments along the way for both stabilization and flexibility. Now, focus on your hips and your waist. Take one hand and make a fist and push into your center, your dantian, a little bit below your belly button. The other hand covers it, and you're going to massage your center while you do circles with your hips and waist, like doing a slow hula. Hula, by the way, in the Polynesian tongue, means raising the sacred fire, which I think is a dangerous thing to do in a grass skirt, but that's just me. Breathing fully, just let your breath move how it wants to move. And the other direction. There are lots of different breathing styles, techniques, exercises, but one of the primary ones is breathe naturally. And so many people don't focus on their breath enough to know what natural breath is. A natural breath is relaxed, full, deep, and charges your body with energy. All right, now you're going to roll your hips like we did our shoulders. And remember, we were talking about the harmonies. So the shoulders and the hips move together. So as you roll your hips coming up the back and down the front, up the back and down the front, your shoulders will do the same thing, and your arms will do the same thing. So now begin to roll a ball between your hands. You carry the ball across the front, rise up close and fall away. So the hands are moving in conjunction with the shoulders, in conjunction with the hips. So you rise up on the back, carry across the front, fall in front. Breathing naturally. Then go the other direction, coming up the front and down the back, and your arms will do the same thing because the shoulders are doing the same thing as the hips. So you come up the front and down the back. So the hand falls close to the body and rises away this time. Carry the ball across the front, turn it over on the side so your palms face each other the entire time. Breathing fully. You'll notice after a while that when you're doing Tai Chi and Qigong, many times the breath will just do what it needs to do, go where it needs to go by simply doing the movement. The movement will generate the breathing. Good. Then feet together. Little circles with your knees. And the other direction, this works on at least 6 major acupuncture points around the knee area. It also helps to awaken the lower back, the ankles, the hips. Then open out, inside of the foot forward, outside of the foot back. Breathing fully. And the other direction, outside of the foot forward, inside of the foot back. I put this set of warm-ups together over my 50 years of training in Tai Chi, 48 years in training in Tai Chi, from all sorts of different Tai Chi masters from around the world. And so it's a very head-to-toe workout, as one of my students said the other day. Now, circle one foot, loosening up the joints. dangle the opposite hand and press down on the knuckles with the heel of your palm. Pluck up on the hand, dropping your shoulders and elbows. So you want the elbow down, because if you lift the elbow, this is not quite as bent, but if you drop the elbow, it's more of a stretch. These movements that we're doing with our hands have martial applications, but they also have tremendous healing mechanisms built in. So these are good for carpal tunnel syndrome and other arthritic conditions and so forth. Turn your fingers in, thumb pushing on the back of the hand, fingers pulling on the base of the thumb, twisting the hand in. You drop the hand down and your thumb travels along the bone of the hand up to the middle knuckle of each finger. So you trace the bone with pressure, sliding the thumb up to about the middle knuckle as you drop the hand down. Once you've stretched all 4 fingers in this manner, dangle the hand, elbow down, come underneath with the other hand, thumb pushes thumb and about between the knuckles towards the wrist. Then your fingers wrap around the wrist and squeeze, still wiggling that opposite foot around. This is increasing coordination by doing opposite hand and foot. Then palm out, pull back. Now this is similar to a movement in our Tai Chi forms called press. In fact, it is a press movement. So it's actually part of one of our primary Tai Chi movements. There are 13 primary movements in Tai Chi. Then palm out, fingers down, pull back, pushing the heel of the palm away. So in the martial application using this kind of movement, it would be called chin-na. Chin-na means seize and control. And the other side now, circle the foot, dangle the opposite hand, press down on the knuckles, pluck up on the hand so that the wrist has got its maximal bend, shoulders and elbows down. Then turn the fingers in, thumb pushing on the back of the hand, like you're putting a thumbtack in. Then fingers wrap around the base of the thumb, pulling. This is called the mound of Venus, below the thumb. As you twist the hand, the pinky is closest to you. You drop the hand down, the thumb travels along the pinky bone to the pinky knuckle. Then ring finger stretching, middle finger stretching it inward, index finger stretching it inward. And once all 4 fingers are done, dangle the hand, thumb pushes thumb towards wrist, fingers wrap around wrist and squeeze. Just do your best, don't overdo it. Little progress every day. That was one of my teacher's favorite sayings. Palm out, pull back. Now, in Tai Chi parlance, the press movement, which we're doing, anytime 2 hands come together, it's usually called a press in Tai Chi. It is also translates as crush. Think of crushing something between your 2 hands. Then palm out, fingers down, pull back, push the heel of your palm away, pull the fingers back towards you. Good. Now, this next exercise, and I'm going to sit for the first portion of it, so I'm going to be close up. This next portion of the exercise is called Sung Ku. Sung Ku, Sung. There's no English equivalent to the word. It means to be both energized and relaxed, extremely relaxed. So it's a very dynamic state, because most of the time in the West, we don't think about being relaxed and energized at the same time. So it's a padding out process. In fact, this is where tapping comes from. If you've heard of tapping, it's become quite popular in a lot of therapeutic circumstances, and it comes from the Sung Ku practice. So start at the crown, lightly tapping, stimulating the pituitary gland and the pineal body in the central portion of the brain. This stimulates circulation in the head in general, And energetically, as you're tapping out, you're connecting all sorts of acupuncture points in the head, like the knee one and the byway points, crown chakra, back of the head. This stimulates the medulla oblongata, which is responsible for respiration, and actually the entire autonomic nervous system, especially the parasympathetic nervous system. And so this is very good if you have problems with breathing. Then forehead, stimulating the frontal lobes of the brain where the critical thinking factors are located. This is the I could have had a V8 moment right here. Then take your index finger and you're going to push the door. It's called the tragus. It's a little triangular shape right in front of the ear. You push that closed and then you use your middle finger to tap on the index finger. And you can do both at the same time. Then two fingers, third eye, center of the forehead. Stimulating the the pineal gland. The pineal gland is associated with the third eye, called the third eye, because the structure of it looks like an eyeball that just did not come out. It is, in essence, what the Egyptians called the eye of Horus, which was always the pineal gland. Two fingers inside the eyebrows. These points we're doing in the face are major nerve bundles and major arterial flow in the face outside the eyebrows. So primarily with the Sung Ku practice, we will be balancing the circulation and stimulating it, balancing and stimulating the meridian system of the body, the acupuncture points and meridians under the eyes, as well as increasing qi flow through the meridian system, as well as working on, I mentioned endocrine system circulation, so your glandular secretions will be amplified. Base of the nostrils on either side. Upper lip, lower lip, jaw, thyroid gland, let out a nice big ha. Then two fingers touching the thumb, grief points, which are straight down from the ears, so as far apart as your face is wide, midway between the nipple and the collarbone. It's really about the center of each pectoral muscle. And find the most sensitive tissue there, and these are known as grief points. So once you find them, you can go, oh, okay, that's it. You know, it's pretty dynamic once you do find them. Then, before we go any further up, go up right under the collarbone, okay? And trace the collarbone up to that indentation just inside the shoulder, like here's the shoulder joint, and come back a little bit and find the most sensitive tissue. It might be right under the collarbone, in a little bit, might be all the way up in that corner. But when you find that spot, really push and make circles and then tap. And the other side, same thing. Reach in, find the indentation there and back off a little bit and find that spot that's most sensitive. And when you rub it and you find that spot that's definitely the most sensitive area, oh yeah, that's going to stimulate your immune system tremendously. It kind of kickstarts it, and then tapping. Okay. And then thumping the thymus, let out your Tarzan or Jane yell. Oh. And then edge of hand. So you're striking with the edge of hand into between the thumb and the index finger. This is very good for headaches. Other side. Then outside the arm, inside the arm, outside the other arm, inside, under the arm. This is for the heart. It's actually, there's a pericardium point under here, other side. And so it's very good for strengthening heart function. And then shoulder. Again, working on those, on the trapezius muscle, stomach and gallbladder, other side. This also is good for tension headaches. And then kidneys, adrenals, lightly tapping out there, let out a nice high-pitched E sound. Deep breath in. Belt channel under the ribs. Now, the reason we do that high-pitched E sound, coupled with the kidneys, in the traditional Chinese medicine, kidneys are said to be the storehouse of the life force, of the qi. And whenever you make that high-pitched E sound, like when you're really excited, wee, you know, sliding down a water slide or something, or if you're frightened, you see a mouse, eek, right? You've heard people express in that way. Center now. That high-pitched E sound stimulates the portion of the brain by frequency that's responsible for your circulation. So right now, so it's very good if you do that high-pitched E sound frequently during the course of the day, if you have problems like diabetes, for example, or poor circulation for some reason. So right now, patting on your center, your dantian, will also stimulate neurotransmitters as well as helping your balance, much like the tip of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth will. Then go into the inguinal crease and lightly patting out there. You can close a fist at the very last moment, just before the strike. And then bottoms. Breathing fully. Then backs of the legs down, up the front, inside. And then bottoms of the feet. Thinking into the bubbling well point just behind the ball of the foot. Okay. So that's our primary Sun Ku practice, but now we're going to add to that an exercise called the meridian massage, because now we want to smooth all of that out. So we're going to be tracing the meridians. So reach out with one hand and draw it over the top of the other arm. Bring it around the back of your head. And with your mind, as you draw down the center line, think of moving the energy with your mind and the movement of your body. Now come underneath the arm, around the back of the head, down the center line, and press in. Over the top of the other arm. Around, down the center line, press in. Underneath, draw the energy lightly with your mind and the movement of your hands. Around, down the center line, press in. Inside and outside of both arms. Just gently give yourself a big hug. Get to know the person you've been going to bed with your whole life. Then, over the crown, down the back of the neck, under the arms, down the back, backs of the legs, around the feet, up the front and inside. Come up, over the top, and down. Up the front, over the crown, down the back, up the front, tracing the meridians. One more time, around the crown, down the back, up the front, and then just below solar plexus, pushing in, bending over, walking the fingers down the abdomen. When you reach the bladder pelvic region, come up on the right, down on the left, following the route of peristalsis, the route that the food travels through the digestive system, and then rubbing the belly in the same way. Now, this is especially good for elimination and digestion. It's comforting if you have small children, kids, if they've got a tummy ache, this is the thing that's going to help them tremendously. Just rub their belly up on the right, down on the left. And also, this is good if you have problems sleeping. If you do this, it'll calm the system down pretty quickly and you'll be able to go back to sleep. And take a nice deep breath. Now, we're going to do one of what we call Indonesian hand dances. And these are meant, maybe we'll do two, but they're meant for increasing coordination of the body. So increasing the two hemispheres functionality. So start with one hand, index finger out, palm up. So up and down have to do with palm position. 1 and 3 have to do with finger positions. So the 1 is palm up and the 3 is palm down. 1 up, 3 down. So the index is out for the 1 up and the index is in for the 3 down. So the 3 down is the index finger, the first finger touching the thumb. So it's 1 up and 3 down. So it's opposite movement of palms, opposite movement of fingers. Okay, now same thing on the other hand. Palm up is 1, palm down is 3. 1 up, 3 down. 1 up, 3 down. Go only as fast as you can get. The 3 is palm down, the 1 is palm up. Now, once you have that, you put the two together. You have 1 up on one side and 3 down on the other. Okay, so make sure you have a 1 palm up and a 3 palm down. Then you release, turn your hands and reformulate. Up is 1, down is 3. Let go, turn the hands, palm up is 1, palm down is 3. Let go, turn the hands, palm up is 1, palm down is 3. Now, what this does is it creates new neurological pathways to the brain. It balances the two hemispheres, and you're working on strengthening the corpus callosum, which is the part of the brain that connects the two hemispheres. Now, you can go faster, but you have to move faster with correct movement. So it's not better to go wrong faster. It's best to go as slowly as you need to go in order to be correct. So palm up is 1, palm down is 3. The 1 is up, the 3 is down. And once you get that and it gets more comfortable, you can go faster, but it's not about speed. It's about accuracy. So the 1 up and the 3 down is the format for this exercise. Okay. Now, here's one more. We have several of these, but here's one more for today. Right hand. On your right hand, you're going to touch the 4 fingers to the thumb in this sequence. So on the right, it's index, middle, ring, pinky. Turn your hands over. So the mudras are index, middle, ring, pinky. And so as you do this, it's like counting 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, index, middle, ring, pinky. Index, middle, ring, pinky. Now, on the other hand, the left hand does the opposite. It does pinky, ring, middle, index, over, pinky, ring, middle, index, over, pinky, ring, middle, index. So it's doing 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, you can practice those independently so that you get comfortable if those aren't movements that you're very keen on or have had much practice with. But when you get both hands going at the same time, right hand index, left hand pinky, middle and ring, ring and middle, pinky and index, hands turn over. Index and pinky, middle and ring, ring and middle, pinky and index. So again, it's not about speed, it's about accuracy, kind of like driving your car. It's not better that you're driving faster when you drive through the garage instead of into the garage. So it's index and pinky, middle and ring, ring and middle, pinky and index. And again, once you get the pattern set and you've created the new neurological pathways, you can go faster. But it's going faster needs to be precise. So palms face opposing directions. So you have one palm up, one palm down, and you have index and pinky, middle and ring, ring and middle, pinky and index. So the finger movements are opposing and complementary, as are the palm positions. All right, good. So we have more of those, but I want to let those go now. I would like us to focus a little bit on some basic Tai Chi movements that we might see in any Tai Chi class anywhere. And so I'd like to start off with just come back to we started with the wave earlier in the movement. So I'd like to play with the wave once more and put your feet in parallel. Just a little bit more. Okay. So put your feet in parallel and then sink down, pluck up, draw in, and sink. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to play with some basic movements. This is the primary opening of most Tai Chi forms. Exhaling up, inhaling in and down. Now, what I'd like to do is introduce you to a couple of simple movements that we might see anywhere. One is push. Put one foot 45 degrees. Step forward with the other foot so you have basically a bow stance. You've got hip width between two walls and 1 foot forward, and the front foot is straight forward, back foot at 45 degrees. Now, your movement of your hips are going to be, you're going to be, without doing the arm movement, start with your weight forward and your hips square, which means your hips are equal to the front wall. Then turn your hips slightly towards your back foot as you start your shift back, and then shift all the way back and withdraw the front foot, squaring your hips. Turn diagonally to square forward, diagonally to square back, diagonally, square front, diagonally, square back. Okay, so that's the movement. I'll show you from this side here. So the movement is square to the front, then diagonal back, and then square to the front. So it's a zigzag. Notice my shoulders are moving with my hips. So at the end of the pull, you're square, diagonal in between, end of the push, you're square. Now the arm movements are simply this. The push, you spread your fingers wide apart. lotus palms. And then you relax and pluck as you pull in, and you pluck back down and into the side into this position here. Okay, so let's start with right foot forward, hips square, hands in the pluck position by your hips. Rotate your hands, move diagonally forward, and then finish square as you finish the push, spreading your fingers. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. Then rotate your hands, move diagonally, and then finish square. Now the breathing is exhale as you go forward and push, spreading your fingers. Inhale as you go back, squeezing your fingertips together. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and back. Exhale forward, hollowing your chest. Inhale back, squeezing your shoulder blades together and back. Exhale forward, inhale back. Exhale forward, inhale back. Exhale forward, inhale back. Let's switch feet. Exhale forward, squaring your hips, spreading your fingers. Relax the hands, then pluck, square at the end, diagonal forward. Inhale back, squeezing your shoulder blades together and back. Exhale forward, inhale back. Exhale forward, inhale back. Exhale forward, squeeze shoulder blades together and push. Okay, inhale back. Exhale forward, squeeze shoulder blades together and push. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is see if there are any questions. Okay, are there any questions about anything that we did today or about Tai Chi in general?
No, that was amazing. Thank you.
How do you feel?
Very good teacher. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are primarily the warm-ups. Those are all Qigong, and literally from head to toe, as you can see, fingers, toes, hands, feet, shoulders, elbows, everything, right?
It's much more physical than I thought it would be. It's strenuous.
Well, and as we get into other, like playing with the forms, you start to gain, because these forms over time start to build tremendous energy, as you can tell.
I look forward to doing it more. It's great.
Excellent.
Thank you.
My pleasure. So to close class, we put palms together, honoring ourselves, honoring others as ourselves, and then right hand fist, because you got to have that good, strong, yang energy to survive in this world. But then the softness of the open hand quiets and calms the yang hand. And so we say thank you in Chinese because that's where Tai Chi and Qigong began. So we say shishi, shishi. Then we have 3 slow claps. The first clap is for the master's hard work. All the masters who've brought this knowledge down to us from thousands and thousands of years back. You're all the way back. Some of the Qigong goes all the way back to the caves. Second, for the students' hard work, because all the masters had to be students first. Third, for all sentient life that we encounter, we grant it respect, and thereby we garner respect. So 3 slow claps. Here we go.